Okay, so they figure out that it's an illusion. The Tin Man walks up and starts running his hands through the projection, and it reflects off. So they figure out it's an illusion. So they're out of initiative order, and they're role playing again. So the Munchkin Mayor is telling the the wizard. He's like, "You guys are taxing the heck out of us. This is not right. We want no more taxes." And the wizard's not going for it. He's like, "Look, I'm not going to give you no taxes." He's like, "I might make a deal with you, lower your taxes or something like that." So he says, "I'll tell you what. If Dorothy gives me the slippers, I'll I'll send her home." Okay, and Dorothy's like, "No dice, man. I want a brain for the Scarecrow, and I want a heart for the Tin Man. I want you to give the Cowardly Lion courage." And the wizard's like, "Look, man, I'm not a brain surgeon. I can't give the Scarecrow a brain." I said, "I've got this piece of paper here. I got this diploma. Like I'll give him a diploma, and and I'll give this medal to like the Cowardly Lion." And before I could say anything about the heart, Glinda wants to talk to me. The player wants to talk to me, the DM. So we go aside and we start talking. He's like, "Can I just tell Dorothy that she had the power all along?" And I said, "Yeah, that's great. That's perfect." So he comes back and he's like, "Dorothy, you could have like gone home at any time if you had clicked your heels together and said the words 'There's no place like home' 3 times." So earlier than this, Dorothy was clicking her heels and trying to cast spells on like Glinda and stuff, and it wasn't working. It was really funny. And then, so now he's like, "Oh, I could have gone home anytime I wanted." He's like, "But I don't want to go." And Toto's like, "I don't want to go home. I kind of like it here. There's all kinds of stuff for me to explore." And Dorothy's like, "Well, if Toto doesn't want to go home, I'm not going home either." So the wizard says, "Look, Munchkin Mayor, if you want me to like lower your taxes, I'll make you a deal. No taxes, but I got to get those ruby slippers because I need some kind of compensation. I already gave like a medal to the Cowardly Lion, and I already gave a diploma." And then the Scarecrow actually says, Can somebody tell me what's on this piece of paper?" Because he's so dumb he can't read. So that's all going on, and these people are just acting crazy. So the Munchkin Mayor is like, "Look, Dorothy, give her those shoes." And Dorothy's like, "No, I'm not doing it." So the Cowardly Lion's like, "Okay, I'm gonna use my claws to attack Dorothy and try to get the shoes off her." And I said, "Well, how are you gonna do that?" And he says, "Well, I'm just gonna try to get the shoes off her." And I said, "Well, how?" I said, Are you just gonna like sever her legs like at the ankles and like to get the shoes off?" And she's like, and the guy playing the lion's like, "Yeah." So I said, "Roll." So he does, and he does so much damage that Dorothy with 10 hit points is killed. So basically, I said, "Okay, you severed Dorothy's legs. The ruby slippers go to the wizard, and Dorothy bleeds out." The end. So that was it. So the players came up with the ending. So I was giving them inspiration points every time they made the group laugh and every time they made me laugh. So everybody got to add them up, and I gave 5 extra points each to the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Cowardly Lion, because they weren't introduced at the beginning and they didn't have an opportunity to get some early points. And I was passing out a lot of points at the beginning, and I gave the Lion another 5 points because he came up with a way for me to end the story, and it ended up the Cowardly Lion had the most inspiration points and was able to win the prize, which was in a previous video, episode 8, part 8 of the Wizard of Oz character creation thing. So it was a glass, a cup, actually, a shot glass, I guess, a big one, of with a pewter, I think, metal dragon's head on it. So that was it. That was the way this whole Wizard of Oz one-shot went. Took about, I don't know, 3.5 hours, maybe 4. And I don't know, everybody said they had a great time, so I had fun. I was laughing like crazy. It would be interesting to run this again with either the same players playing different characters or a totally different group. I loved it. I have a friend who asked me to write a one-shot for his kid. His kid's like birthday party sometime. I think the kid's about 9 or 10 for him and his friends. And I might do that. I might do that with this. And it would be really interesting to see how somebody else played it, especially kids. But anyway, it's there for your enjoyment. Do with it what you will. Have fun. If you ever run this one shot, tell me about it. I'd love to hear about it. So there you go. It's out there in the ether now. You guys can enjoy it. Do whatever you want with it. Thanks for listening.